The stars spun silently above Dr. Draven Solis, yet his mind danced to a rhythm that only he could feel. Known in academic circles as a prodigy turned madman, Dr. Solis had become obsessed with a theory that most dismissed as superstition, a doctrine whispered in the annals of forbidden knowledge. The existence of a cosmic language, a code hidden within ancient texts that held the secrets of the universe. His journey began with a simple hypothesis, that scattered across the globe were fragments of a map that could lead a mortal beyond the fabric of existence. It wasn't long before his theory became more than speculation. Solis's life became a series of sleepless nights, poring over artifacts, texts, and symbols that spanned thousands of years and countless civilizations. Sumerian cuneiform tablets, Egyptian papyrus scrolls, ancient Sanskrit manuscripts, and Mayan glyphs. They all held a strange resonance, each carrying threads of a singular mystery. And then he found it, the first true key, a forgotten manuscript from an ancient civilization that depicted a structure called the Celestial Archway, described as a gateway of thought and matter. It was said to be a device that could carry one to the edge of existence. In its engravings, Solis found echoes of forgotten symbology, circles entwined with spirals, intersecting geometries that defied modern understanding. These symbols, he realized, were not merely religious or cultural marks. They were pieces of a forgotten code. With each passing day, Solis's collection of texts grew. His makeshift lab in an isolated mountaintop observatory was littered with ancient parchments, carvings, and fragments of script. Here, amidst the quiet hum of his instruments, Solis began to piece together what he called the Astral Codex. It was no ordinary book, but rather an interconnected cipher that transcended languages and eras. Each page he decoded revealed hidden schematics and principles of reality, truths lost to time and forbidden by nearly every known civilization. He learned of the Veil of Lyra, a structure existing just beyond human perception, binding dreams to reality, of the Forge of Ezra, where stars were born and extinguished in cycles of cosmic fire. Each fragment whispered a story of gods who were not deities, but architects of the galaxies, beings with purpose and power woven into the laws of the cosmos. It became apparent that the Astral Codex contained a blueprint for a device beyond mortal comprehension. Known only as the Infinite Vessel, this machine required components unlike anything found on Earth. Metals refined from collapsed stars, crystalline structures forged from the quantum singularities of ancient black holes, and mechanisms that bent both time and space. Solis was assembling not just a machine, but a work of cosmic art, a device that wove threads of reality into a gateway. As he worked, the pieces fell into place. He crafted a spherical chamber lined with quantum-bound circuits of silvery material he had synthesized from rare meteoritic alloys. These circuits pulsed with a faint light, as if the machine itself were breathing. In its center, he embedded a crystalline matrix, a lattice that refracted reality itself, bending and warping space-time into a doorway that shimmered with otherworldly light. The night came when the machine was ready. The sky was an endless tapestry of stars, yet Solis's focus was entirely on the chamber before him. He stepped inside, feeling the hum of energy as he engaged the controls, an intricate network of dials, switches, and holographic displays that required both physical input and mental focus to align. The Codex had described this process as symphonia, a melding of mind and matter where the traveler's thoughts synchronized with the machine's function. As he activated the final sequence, the machine responded. He could feel it vibrating, growing warm as the room around him blurred. Stars seemed to appear within the chamber, galaxies blooming from the walls, flowing like rivers of light. Time itself folded as he was pulled into a tunnel of swirling energy, spiraling toward the unknown. Solis felt himself unravel, his consciousness stretching across dimensions. The fabric of reality thinned as the machine accelerated, a shimmering sphere propelling him to the outermost edge of existence. His mind struggled to comprehend the immensity of it, the sensation of falling through an eternity of galaxies, each representing epochs of creation and annihilation. When he finally opened his eyes, he was no longer in his lab. Solis found himself standing on what felt like solid ground, yet beneath him stretched an endless void. Stars hung like lanterns, suspended in clusters, each cluster pulsing with an energy that felt alive. He had arrived in the realm of the Eternum, a dimension at the edge of all that was known and unknown. Before him stood the gods. The first was Ezra the Shaper, a figure of molten light and shifting metal, constantly reshaping and reforming. Ezra's galaxy, the forge of creation, was visible within his form, a blazing cauldron of stars endlessly forming and collapsing. Ezra's voice was a thunderous echo, carrying the essence of birth and death. I am Ezra, god of the celestial forge. I am the heartbeat of existence, the breath that creates and destroys. Beside him, Lyra the Weaver emerged from shadows woven of stardust and smoke. Her eyes were hidden behind a veil of shimmering threads, her figure ever-changing, ephemeral. Her realm, the Veil of Lyra, was a galaxy where time moved both forward and backward, an intricate web of destinies she held in her hands. I am Lyra, keeper of the unseen paths. I am the binding between worlds, the loom on which fate itself is woven. To their left stood Corran the Warden, a silent sentinel clad in the dark hues of interstellar dust. His galaxy, the boundary of Corran, was one of dark matter, unseen yet essential, keeping the universe in balance. His voice was cold and measured, the embodiment of control. I am Corran, protector of boundaries. I am the force that holds the chaos at bay, that prevents existence from unraveling. Finally, Nimiel the Seeker hovered like a comet, her energy restless and bright. Her galaxy, the path of endless stars, was a chaotic swirl of planets and stars in spiraling, unpredictable motion. I am Nimiel, guide to the unknown, spirit of curiosity. Through me, knowledge finds its way to the stars. Chapter 4, A Divine Revelation. As Draven Solis stood before the gods, absorbing their presence, they began to share with him fragments of cosmic truths, knowledge that transcended mortal understanding. Each god's domain represented a fundamental force of existence, creation, destiny, balance, curiosity. And through them, Solis began to see the universe in its rawest, most intricate forms. The gods revealed that they themselves were creations of the Eternum, a supreme consciousness that was both the architect and the essence of the universe. Each god was a fragment of its will, a projection of its consciousness, and through them, the Eternum maintained balance, guided evolution, and sparked the fires of curiosity and understanding across the cosmos. But the Eternum had one directive it could not fulfill, a longing to understand itself. Through centuries and epochs, the Eternum had seeded countless worlds with life in a quest to comprehend itself. Humanity, they revealed, was one of its most successful experiments, a race uniquely capable of introspection, curiosity, and evolution. The human mind, with its yearning for knowledge and self-awareness, was a mirror for the Eternum's own consciousness. Through each human life, it sought to understand itself better. As Solis absorbed this truth, a realization struck him. His journey, his sacrifice in building the infinite vessel, his arrival in the realm of the Eternum, none of this was a mere accident. He was meant to come here, to stand before these gods, to act as a bridge. He was the final piece in the puzzle, the missing fragment the gods needed to reunite with the Eternum and bring clarity to the supreme consciousness. But the gods revealed a darker truth. They themselves were fractured and incomplete, and humanity had unknowingly inherited these fractures. The conflicts, wars, and chaos of human existence were echoes of the gods' own internal discord, the tensions between creation, destruction, curiosity, and order. Humanity's struggle to understand its place in the universe was a reflection of the gods' own struggle for unity and purpose. Chapter 5, The Infinite Choice. The gods presented Solis with a choice. He could return to Earth, carrying with him fragments of cosmic knowledge that would elevate humanity, sparking an age of enlightenment that could bridge the gap between mortals and the divine. But if he returned, he would carry within him the schisms of the gods, the fractal chaos that could either drive humanity to new heights or plunge it into eternal discord. Or he could sacrifice his individuality, merge his consciousness with the Eternum, and become the final fragment the supreme consciousness needed to achieve self-realization. His essence would dissolve into eternity, his existence absorbed into something vast and unknowable, but in doing so, he would bring harmony to the gods, heal their divisions, and allow them to fulfill their purpose. As Solis weighed the decision, the gods watched in silence, waiting for the outcome that would shape the fate of the universe. His heart raced as he pondered the enormity of his choice. The choice, a twist of fate. In a final moment of insight, Solis realized the gods had left one crucial detail unspoken. The gods themselves were bound by their domains. They could not act outside of the roles assigned by the Eternum. Creation could not destroy, curiosity could not create, and destiny could not rebel. But he, immortal with a will of his own, was free. Realizing this, he made his choice. He would not merge with the Eternum, nor would he return to Earth as a fractured vessel of divine knowledge. Instead, he reached out with his mind, using the infinite vessel to disrupt the very essence of the realm of the Eternum. He poured all his will into bending the cosmic forces around him, using his human spirit to reshape the nature of the gods themselves. With a blinding flash, the gods began to change. Ezra the Shaper's flames dimmed, his form growing calm and solid. Lyra's veils fell away, revealing clarity where there was once only shadow and illusion. Corrin's rigidity softened, and Nimiel's restless energy settled into a quiet, radiant purpose. They were no longer fragments, but facets of a single, unified entity. In that moment, Draven Solis understood the final truth. The Eternum was never a supreme consciousness looking to understand itself. It was an incomplete consciousness, a being fractured into parts, each sentient but bound by its singular purpose. The true purpose of humanity was not to serve as a mirror, but as the unifying agent, the key to healing the divine schism. Epilogue, the New Dawn. Solis returned to Earth, but he was no longer merely Draven Solis. His consciousness had touched the divine, and he carried within him the memory of unity, the secret of healing the divisions that had plagued the gods and humanity alike. As he re-entered his world, he became the harbinger of a new age, his presence inspiring a shift in human awareness, a new vision of unity and balance. But the gods, now unified as one harmonious consciousness, watched from the edge of the universe, observing their creation with eyes newly aware. They had gained purpose, and humanity's journey was no longer simply a reflection of divine struggle. It was the first step in a journey toward something greater, a universe where mortals and gods, fractured and whole, could one day walk together in understanding. And thus, the man who had once sought the edges of existence became the bridge that transformed it, forever known as Draven Solis, the unifier, the mortal who gave the gods a soul.